Hey, good morning. I'm Zeki Hamid. It's Friday, and this is Seattle Now. This week, Washington was rocked by what Governor Bob Ferguson is calling one of the worst natural disasters in state history. But luckily, people are stepping up to help. A West Seattle holiday light display is back on track after being knocked out by last year's bomb cyclone. And The Stranger's December issue is full of complaints about Seattle. We have some ideas. Film critic Chase Hutchinson and Seattle Now producer Vaughan Jones are here to break down the week. But first, let's get you caught up. Canadian tourism to Washington state is way down. That's according to a new report from congressional Democrats on the Joint Economic Committee. It says border crossings dropped by nearly 25% during the first 10 months of 2025 compared to the same period last year. The report surveyed 60 businesses in Bellingham, and more than half said they experienced economic losses due to the drop in visitors. According to Axios, Seattle is projecting a 27% drop in overnight international visitors this year. A heads up, light rail in Seattle will be disrupted again this weekend. Beginning at 11 p.m. Saturday, shuttle buses will replace trains between the Capitol Hill and Stadium stations. Regular service will resume at 10 a.m. on Sunday. Sound Transit said crews will be upgrading signaling equipment. Seattle Now listeners, it's the final full day of our winter fundraising drive, and your financial support makes this show possible. If you appreciate the news and interviews you hear on Seattle Now, do us a solid. Give us $10 a month, or whatever works for you. And thank you for supporting Seattle Now. Check back for more headlines on tonight's episode. It's Friday. It's been a tough week for all of us here in the Pacific Northwest, and I hope today is the first day of us getting better news. Chase Hutchinson is here. He's a film and TV critic. Chase, how are you?
Good. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. It's great to have you. And Vaughan Jones, our very own Vaughan Jones, is here. He's a producer on Seattle Now. Vaughan, it's always good to see you.
You know, I actually only had one item on my letter to Santa this year, and it was to be on Casual Friday before the year was out.
Oh,
Look at that. That's great.
Dreams do come true.
Dreams do come true. So before we dive in, this is a really cool story, a story I think we all need to hear right now about recovery from really crazy and disturbing weather. West Seattle's 4040 House holiday lights display recently started back up for the year. It's one of those super elaborate light shows that's perfectly synchronized to music, and it's free to visit through the holiday season. The Seattle Times says that they had to take a break last year after the crazy wind from the bomb cyclone that destroyed some of their holiday displays. Neighbors and local stores stepped up to help them recover over the past year by donating money, providing discounts for replacement lights and props. I think we all need some victories like that right now. Is this the kind of story that kind of gets you in the holiday spirit?
Yeah, this one really, it just reminded me, especially with the context that we're in right now, seeing so much weather, devastation, flooding, that just... You know, the lights are going to come back on at some point. And this one, it's a great metaphor for the lights literally turning back on, this holiday light display. And I don't know, I would consider myself a very jolly human being. So it's nice. It's nice to hear. It's nice to hear a holiday victory like this for sure.
Yeah. How about you, Chase?
I'll keep the jolliness going. I think it's a lovely story. And I think it's not just the lights, even though that is matter. It's the community. It's finding a reason to come out, to be together, to have a moment of just kind of shared joy is always a nice thing.
You know, the Seattle Times says this is an impressive display. There are nearly 250,000 lights. 250,000 lights,
That's so
along
many.
with flame machines, fog bubble machines. One of the owners, Kent Stroker, served in the Navy as an electronics technician, which is where he learned the skills to set up these crazy light displays. The owners say the display only adds about a couple of $100 a year to their electric bill. Do you buy that?
I mean, I don't. I think that's something to be a little skeptical of, although I like to imagine in my head they take shifts biking to get the power going in the basement, and that's how they've cracked the code. But yeah, I'll need to see the full crunching of the numbers there.
You need the receipts. How about you, Vaughan?
Show me the receipt. You must know somebody at Seattle City Light. I'll cut you a deal on the side. Ironically, the Seattle Times write-up of this story used a Miracle on 34th Street reference in the first paragraph. And Chase, this is for you as a fellow movie buff. This reminds me a lot of the movie Deck the Halls with Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick, and Danny DeVito's characters trying to get the holiday display that you can see from space.
Maybe they're LED lights.
Maybe there's got to be something going on.
All right, we're going to move on to our big story this week. All of Washington has been impacted by what Governor Bob Ferguson is calling undoubtedly one of the most devastating natural disasters in our state's history. Levees have been breached in Tukwila and Pacific. Thousands of people have had to evacuate their homes or go without power. The death toll is now one person in Snohomish County as of Thursday, and areas around the state are trying to gauge the damage to see what sort of supply or support they need. This is the result of two straight atmospheric rivers, which climate scientists expect to grow more powerful, arrive more frequently, and last longer as Earth's climate keeps warming. So to hear that we're experiencing one of the worst natural disasters in state history right now, how does that sit with you?
To answer seriously at first, it is concerning and tough to see, and I hope people are doing okay. I'm glad to see community showing up for each other and trying to support where they can, but it makes me think of this quote that kind of goes around in situations like this, which is that climate change will manifest as a series of disasters viewed through phones with footage that gets closer and closer to where you live until you're the one filming it.
Oh my God.
And I know that's not the most cheery quote, but it is kind of a potent encapsulation of what this feels like, where you see these floods and they kind of are abstracted through videos online, and then it's at your front door or in your neighborhood. And I'm hoping that this can motivate people to be more prepared, not individually, but like on a structural, like top-down level, have more support available, because this might be something that we see more of. You hope not, but it's important to be ready. Yeah. And so the positive thing is people being able to show up for each other.
Yeah.
One of the only benefits of not being from Seattle, a relatively recent transplant, is that the moment that I know anything happening in Seattle or in Washington is like a huge deal is when people text me about it from out of town.
Yeah.
And so I've gotten a lot of texts of like, are you and your friends okay? Yeah. Like, how's the weather today? Like, is it crazy out there? And that's how I know this was going to be really big, because I've been getting texts since last week and watching our newsroom really mobilize. We just had Casey Martin, our reporter on Seattle Now, for Thursday morning show, and he hadn't slept in his own bed in a week, and he had just been going around areas of the state and interviewing people and chatting with people. I mean, it's been a challenge to kind of keep up with all of it because there's just so much going on, but also I think KUOW and other outlets around the state have done a really good job of like painting this picture and also providing places where people can come and support, volunteer, that kind of thing.
Right. So one area feeling the strain is Leavenworth. Highway 2 over Stevens Pass could be closed for months due to flood damage. And I don't know if you've seen the videos, but entire chunks of the highway fell into the river.
And WashDOT had to tell people to stop going in that area, which blows my mind. Please stay away from natural disaster zones and pay attention to the signage.
And the closure happening right now around Christmas obviously is going to do a lot of damage to the city's holiday-based economy. The owner of the Leavenworth Reindeer Farm said that they get usually about 120,000 visitors a year, and a lot of them come around this time of year. So that's going to have an effect. The yearly Christmastown celebration was put on hold last weekend due to widespread power outages, but they ended up pushing through and celebrating on Sunday, and now the festivities are back on this weekend, but that's if you can get there. Is it hard to think about holiday cheer right now, or is this what Leavenworth needs to do?
It kind of ties back to what we were saying at the beginning of being in community, coming together when safe, obviously, will be a valuable thing. I promise this will end cheery. I had read the book The Plague by Albert Camus recently.
Oh, yeah. That's not a cheery book.
No, but it is a truthful book. It resonates because it's about crisis, political, social, existential crisis. And there's a scene in the book that always resonates with me where a doctor and his friend go out to swim. I'm not recommending anyone swim now. I don't think you would want to.
Don't swim right now.
Don't swim right now. But as a metaphor for finding those moments of joy and cheer and community, that's what life is about. And so that's what I hope we can all build back to. It will be in Leavenworth, heavily wrapped in warm clothes as opposed to swimming in the water, but finding the joy and cheer where you can.
Are you going to try to find that kind of cheer, Vaughan?
I think it's hard to kind of juxtapose, and I think Leavenworth is a really good example of just a place that was hit really hard, but they know who they are as a community. Like, this is a place that celebrates the holidays. It's a place where people come from all around the state and all around the country to find joy. You know, I mentioned getting texts from people who are worried, and I mentioned, one of the areas hit hardest was Leavenworth, and people outside of Washington know what Leavenworth is because it's this like magical holiday village thing, and like people know what it is because it's beautiful around this time of year. I don't want them to all gather in the center of the town square like the Who's in Whoville and How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but I do want them to find strength in community, and if they want to celebrate because that's what they are known for and that's what they are good at, then I hope they find that sort of joy in celebrating. Yeah.
So this is also a time to note that people step up. Disaster relief funds have opened up across the state. Businesses are offering free emergency tows. And Haywire Brewing, which is in Snohomish, offered up a Seahawks watch party to raise funds for flood relief on Thursday. That sounds like a really good time.
Yeah, agreed.
So if you'd like to help out, King County Executive Gurmai Zahalai recommends donating at give.wa.gov and also to visit Serve Washington, which is designed to connect people with volunteer opportunities. What do we learn about ourselves when disasters happen?
We learn a lot about ourselves as a community. I've spent a lot of time, and I do this when there's something impacting sort of regional areas of Washington. I go to subreddits, I go to Facebook groups, I go to like very specific regional areas, and I've seen a lot of posts of like, even here in Seattle, like where we're famously kind of antisocial a little bit, people like to paint us that way at least. People are saying, how can I help? Like, where can I go? I have a truck with a tow on it and I can help people move cars. I have spare medical supplies if people need it. People offering up like warm meals or like a place to crash or something like that. And I think that is super heartwarming. And I also think this is an opportunity to understand, you know, an area of life that may not necessarily apply to you. Like, I do not know the first thing about farming, but we had an episode of Seattle Now this week where we talked to a local distributor for, you know, farms around the state and just like the challenges that they're facing. And it's like the way that they have to relocate their livestock and like sell off as much of their supply as they possibly can and really kind of hunker down because it's a big mess with all this wastewater and all this stuff. It's really interesting to learn about that and see what other people are facing and see where I can help. I don't have a ton of farming skill. I don't know if I could lead a cow somewhere, but like I could probably move some sandbags, you know?
Yeah, Chase?
There are still good people. I know it can feel like there are not, but people showing up for each other, people putting themselves out there, giving their time, their money, their resources, however they can. That's how we survive. Community support is critical. And then the other thing I will say, I think also people are capable of finding humor and using that as a tool to help survive. I won't say who it was, but I had a colleague who was impacted where their home was surrounded and they called it a moat, which I thought was just a funny thing. And so I'm starting, this could be another fundraising thing. You know how there's like the shirts that say I survived X or like the floods? We need to say no one wants an unexpected moat or something to that effect. I put that out into the world. If anyone wants to make a shirt to fundraise, I give that to you.
That's a wonderful gift to that community. Okay, we're going to start complaining now, folks. The latest edition of The Stranger is a real fun one. Their inaugural complaints issue hit newspaper stands earlier this month. The staff at The Stranger complained about Seattle businesses needing to be open later, ice cream and other items locked behind doors at grocery stores, and, of course, a need for better city parks. I think everybody has a gripe with the city, right? No matter what, everybody has at least one gripe. So time to get one out here. Let's start with you, Chase. What's your biggest complaint about Seattle?
I'm going to combine a couple because they had a good one, which was about no public restrooms. And I think that's a critical thing. And then I would also say just more art, public art available. And so I'm going to combine them and reference the Wim Wenders film Perfect Days, which is about Tokyo bathrooms and how beautiful of bathrooms they have. And they're artistic, they're interesting, how they use light and all these different things, and they're accessible. I think we need more artsy bathrooms in Seattle. That would be my thing. The complaint is we don't have enough. And I think this is the solution.
That sounds like a very Portland thing to me.
I know, but hey, if it's a good idea, it's a good idea.
Yeah, that's very true.
All right, Vaughn, what's your biggest gripe with Seattle?
Okay, this did not matter to me until my partner and I adopted a dog last year.
Okay.
Put your damn dog on a leash. Put it on a leash. I don't care how well behaved they are. I don't care if everyone loves them and they're just like a sweet little bundle of joy or whatever. That doesn't mean you get to take up the entire Cal Anderson play area or the entirety of BF Day Park by my apartment where I want to walk my dog. My dog is really, really enthusiastic.
Okay.
And he loves to he has a very weird approach to other dogs. He's like bouncy. He wants to roughhouse a little bit. I never take him off the leash because I know what my dog's limitations are. All of you in the world, in the city of Seattle, Washington, need to know your own dog's limitations.
Okay.
On a leash, especially if you're going to go into a coffee shop or something, put your dog on a leash.
Yeah. Okay. So I have two gripes here. I have to say both of them. One of them involves driving, and note I'm a very angry driver. People who keep 2 car lanes worth of space between them and the next car at a traffic light. I'm like, come on, you're just holding everybody back up here.
Exactly. The roads are wet. They're nervous.
God. So there's that. And the other one is when you go to see rock shows, or really concerts, but especially rock shows, people sit down. I went to see Deep Sea Diver a couple of weeks ago, and I was told to sit down. And I just said, it's a rock show.
Yeah.
So that's my time. And then I was like, oh, that's why Pearl Jam doesn't like to play Seattle.
Yeah.
Because we kind of suck as an audience and we sit down. So it's probably easy for people to complain about Seattle. Obviously, we have demonstrated it here. There's a lot that could be better, but there's also a lot that could probably be worse. Is it healthy to complain? I mean, who's allowed to complain about Seattle? Let's do that one first. Vaughn.
Can I just say that this is awesome? I love complaining, and I think it's really great that we get to do that.
One of my favorite quotes that I'm going to butcher from this film called The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
I thought of this too.
Yeah,
I thought of this too.
You can't hate the city if you don't love this city.
Yeah.
And I think that goes both ways of you want to see it be better. You're complaining about things because you're invested, you're engaged. There is a lot that we could constantly be working on, spending a lifetime making things better for everyone.
Building public bathrooms.
Yeah,
everywhere.
having a better quality of life. That shows that you care.
Yeah.
And if you're committed to that and you're committed to the solution, I'm a pro complainer.
That like better public transit so that I don't have to be in my car being
There we
angry.
go.
Exactly. I'm going to complain because I don't want to move. I don't want to leave Seattle. Are you kidding me? I never want to leave this place. Do I have complaints? Yes, I do.
But I will go on record saying that I actually very much love public transit in Seattle. I really think it's a good system.
Could be a lot worse.
It could be a lot worse. I like it. I use it all the time. It's fantastic. So the Stranger also wrote some very quick one-off complaints, which I asked you both to read. Those are really funny. Any ones that stuck out to you?
My favorite one, as someone who worked on a story about Gasworks Park all week for Seattle Now, Gasworks Park should be one word. It was really good. I liked that one. That one made me laugh. Also, very specific, super niche. Love it. Seattle bartenders put too much ice in Diet Coke. Completely agree. Fantastic. The one that got like a visceral upset reaction from me just says, Seattle is not a sandwich city. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The Dingfelder's pastrami on rye is near perfect. I actually just had a conversation with a bartender at my local bar yesterday about like a new sandwich place that just popped up. She was like, you have to go there. It's only open on your lunch break. Like, you have to go. And I'm not going to tell you where it is because I don't want the line to be long when I go on my lunch break. But I love Stumbletown. I love Paseo and Ambien. It's all so good. I think when I see a complaint of Seattle has bad XXX type of food, whatever type of food, that is a little bit code of I don't know where to look. But you have to expand your palate and be a little bit more curious and find these places. I used to be one of those Seattle has bad Mexican food people.
Oh, yeah.
I have my spots. Again, I'm not going to tell anybody where it is because I don't want to lie.
I'm not going to tell anybody what is this?
We're gatekeeping. We're gatekeeping. In 2026, we are gatekeeping.
It's the holiday season, man.
I'm jolly, but I'm not that jolly. I'm not giving you where my local Mexican place is. I'm a happy camper.
Okay, so here's one that I found really funny. Is that it's unacceptable that the Democratic Socialists of America and the Downtown Seattle Association have the same acronym.
Can we do Seattle Downtown Association? Can we do SDA?
All right, one last thing here before we go. Let's take advantage of having a film expert on the show this week.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, not you, Vaughan. And let's talk about movies to get us into the holiday spirit. Let's talk about It's a Wonderful Life. We started showing this week at Northwest Film Forum. That's 55 straight years of the tradition from the Grand Illusion, which used to be located right here in the U District. Have either of you been to It's a Wonderful Life on the big screen?
I have not, but I've always wanted to. It seems like a really special thing and one of those kind of valuable recurring holiday screenings that isn't Elf for the 50 millionth time.
Yeah.
Like, let's watch a real classic together that's held up for a reason.
And it's a little sad, though.
But here's the thing, to quote our cinema savior, Nicole Kidman, heartbreak feels good in a place like this. When you're with people, let's go.
We come to this place for magic.
Exactly. But it's true. And I would encourage people to seek out stuff at the Beacon, at SIFT. There's lots of great holiday programming that covers a wide variety of genres and styles. So there will be your Christmas movie for everyone.
Okay.
I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life on the big screen. I have seen that movie, and I'm very glad to say I have seen that movie. It's part of cinema history. I do love a sad holiday movie, but for some reason that one just doesn't sit with me. I've watched, since I saw it for the first time a couple years ago when it came out, I've watched The Holdovers 2 years straight.
God, what a
and that
movie.
is what beautiful, very sad, melancholic in a lot of ways. And just for some reason, that one sits with me better.
I love that movie.
I think, Die Hard is mandatory holiday viewing. You have to. On my desk upstairs at KUOW is a little Hans Gruber that's falling off of Nakatomi Plaza. And it's like a Christmas countdown calendar. And the further down he falls, like he's pointing to like the date on the calendar. And then the 24th is at the bottom. I do that. And I think the Seattle Now team started a nice little tradition pretty recently. We all went and gathered and went to go see Muppet Christmas Carol at Central Cinema. If you haven't seen Muppet Christmas Carol, absolute work of art. I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd. It thrilled me. It was fantastic.
So Central Cinema has been doing holiday showings all month. They just wrapped up a week of Elf and Die Hard, and they're moving on to Home Alone. And there's this movie, and I believe this is a French movie that's called Deadly Games Dial Code Santa Claus.
Chase, you're nodding. Do you know
that movie?
I've looked into it because it was something I was also curious about, and I would go see that.
It looks good.
There's Krampus, which is like a kind of horror movie that's at Christmas.
Gosh.
There's Rare Exports, which the Grand Cinema in Tacoma plays every single year. That's a Finnish horror movie. There's lots of different stuff out there. I'm curious about that one. That was new to me, and I would absolutely go see it.
Yeah. All right, I think we're just going to leave it here. Chase Hutchinson is a film and TV critic, and Vaughan Jones is a producer on Seattle Now. Thank you, Vaughan.
Stay jolly, everybody.
And thank you, Chase.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate you listening to Seattle Now, and thanks to our generous donors for your support. You can help us out by clicking the link in the show notes and following, rating, and reviewing the show on your podcast app. Today's episode was produced by Vaughan Jones. It was edited by Andy Hurst. Our production team also includes Caroline Chamberlain Gomez, Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers, Paige Browning, and Patricia Murphy. Greg Kramer does our theme music. Seattle Now and KUOW Public Radio are members of the NPR network. I'm Zeki Hamid. Be kind to each other, and we'll see you soon.